Got up in the morning, took a shot, it's a rock. Girl, you left my stomach in a knot. Took my lighter and you burned the bridge. Thought you was a writer, no, you just an idol. You got me feeling like Big Sean in this 5, 4, 3, 2. I deserve a minute. Wait a minute, gotta get up and over, regain my composure. No longer my lover, finally finished and you did it. Girl, you really showed me. Think with your heart, don't think with your body. Clever. Sorry not sorry, sorry not Justin Timberlake, write me a river. Lately I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else choose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. You tried to convince me it was all in my head, and I felt like it's that you was me instead. I wanted to rock with you, roll with you. Said you was my baby girl, then you left me too. Everything was kosher, perfect like a
Live.
And we are live with a strive. You know what I mean? Just coming in from Vance Amory International Airport. Manners and respect to each and everybody. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. And this is the topics, and we are live. Make sure share the show. Everybody gather around, gather around, gather around. Yeah. Alongside my good friend Alan Powell. Thanks for Real Entertainment Network for having us as well. And we're rolling. Alan Wagwan.
Me cool. I tell you, let's start off by congratulating Charleston Primary for winning the football.
But me no
Oh,
you know, like, oh, yeah, that's why we should start so.
oh no, come on. So you're gonna let me get a kind congratulate them and tell me no went to the school, so me not really supposed to go.
But bro, originally Charleston is in my blood, so I don't even. Are you supposed to be a congratulate me?
Me not, but you not do nothing. You still part of the school?
I'm part of the legacy, bro.
So you're gonna always be connected. That's one thing I like about that. I you maintain the energy there. I could disagree on certain things, but the love for Charleston Primary will always bring us together again, you know. So I
Bro,
like it.
bro, listen, my children them go Gingerland. You hear me I say?
Mm,
But if I were to live in town, definitely Charlestown.
I feel you. How was your weekend?
Man, it was quiet. Didn't do much. I played out Friday, so Saturday I took off Saturday, so I just stayed in relax. 47 missed call.
Mm-hmm. We had an unfortunate incident on the weekend there too. The
Mm,
young, yeah, the youngster they hit the pole down the road from me there.
okay.
You know him steady?
Yeah.
You know when I see the man, me and the man always talk and say I never know the man yet.
But
Until the day when that
that,
they happen.
that's how connected we are. That we don't need to know each other name.
I'm telling you, and it's just good vibes. Cause sometimes
Mm-hmm.
he meet me and he say bye. Just trying to get the vibes off of people, you know what I mean? Find out where people they pan a certain perspective and try to work out certain things within
Yeah,
the
you're right.
scheme. Yeah, so that was tough.
Mm-hmm.
Still losing people. Hope people stay safe throughout the Christmas season. I need to try to make it till 2024. You know what I mean? People out there want to see us, and I just try to encourage everybody, you know? As the premier said, the road new and fresh, but don't drive too fast on the road. Take it easy. You know what I'm saying? Really and truly, we only got a couple clips this evening. You would have
So the focus
thought.
is gonna be on the clips.
Not really. No. Oh no. Oh no. I think that the clips are gonna demonstrate why I don't have a lot of clips. You understand? I don't even know what to believe at this moment in time.
Well, me want past and present.
When you say you want past and present, what do you mean?
Accordingly, what was said first, then after said.
Oh yeah. All right, Ira. Um,
Within 24 hours.
bye. It was amazing, but turned out to the consultation last night. I was happy to see that in there was packed. Me only reached there about 10 minutes after it started, and I basically get the last seat in the back, and it still had people filing in
A,
afterwards.
a man in front in Dragos on the phone.
Yeah, you could have come in whenever you want. Me went on in a Javas too.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
What you mean, a presenter had a Javas?
Well, they one above the presenter. Missy leather joggers type pants and phone. That Missy.
I am uncertain of who you're speaking of at the moment in
Was the premier
program.
there?
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
I couldn't see his feet, so I am uncertain of what he was wearing. I would say
I was of view. I was in the view of the camera.
I was disappointed that the premier was there, and I would hope that at least for one of the consultations, we're gonna be able to hear Mr. Jeffers acknowledge the acting premier, who is anybody except Mr. Jeffers at that moment in time. I remember he had the clip when he said he gonna be the acting premier when Mark go along. So, you know what I mean, Mr. Premier, just give me the honor. We wanna hear Mr. Jeffers got to say, and yes, I acknowledge the acting premier. And it could be anybody except Mr. Jeffers. It could be Try, it could be Jana. But just give us the opportunity to hear this. You know what I mean? We need it. We need the audio. So, Mr. Premier, you stay away from the rest of them. Send acting. You could go Dubai for the next consultation. But yeah, we could get straight to it, because I'll be done kind of late. So, Ira, play the clips, and I kind of want them back to back so that you can understand what I'm saying. So play the clips at your earliest convenience, and then after that, we could talk a little bit about the initial budget presentation that was made this evening.
Where you gonna shit no?
Yeah, it looked like Aragon. Jason, you been here any of the thing from last night?
Of course, Alan. I'm gonna tune in. Stuff like that. I'm gonna make time for it. I was literally driving and watching it. I hit the curb, my tire has a bulge just because I'm passionate about it.
Were you able to understand anything that the Hispanic gentleman was saying?
I understand there was a person there. That are the only thing me understand. The fact of the matter, Alan, watch out. Nobody carry no weight this also, you know, because what your father really asks for is some sort of results, you know. Because guess what? You got the people in here all the time. Are they gonna be part of whatever? Or that's something you gotta look into. And like you could tell when somebody actually writing down information rather than not writing information. But
APA that
some
flies
people
in and
are
out
like a
of there to St. Thomas carrying 9 passengers. not a whole lot of people or persons are interested in flying.
Yeah, anyway, come in when you've been attacked and then not play the whole audio. I be going on the whole audio, you know. When it is you decide to play the clip, sir. Bye. Where be not here?
No, Skittles.
No. That they make me want to reach on bag or not, yeah. Anyway, gave us a piece of the audio again. It looked like we're having technical difficulties, so please bear with us this evening.
But
But
Alan, all
mhm.
I'm saying about the consultation, you understand me? I go like the fact that Mr. Carly Powell brought up people like Dyer and all these other guys be working there and talking about the control tower, saying nothing is wrong with the control tower. It's just that inside of it need updating.
Yeah. Um, the part that he spoke about when he was asking if those persons were consulted. Let me see. So much people used to like catch Mike from St. Thomas. What he asked Zook at that's St. Thomas, right? No, that's him cry. Like that. So something man don't know about Mike. He was just asking basically if the resources, if the persons who have been in the airport management, and I think he also referred to the firemen, if they have been consulted throughout the process. And the disappointing
Um,
answer was not as yet. I think it was said that that is part of the plan going forward.
Alan, and what I realized when you're doing town hall meetings and all that stuff, there for consultation and all that stuff, then you present something. You know what I mean? People want projection. People need a wow factor when they come. You know what I mean? Even if me left disappointed, at least me know me had a moment. But at least them a try something. But like there was nothing there to be shown. Like not even a number you could give me. It all depends on who come on board. You know what I mean? So you're basically telling me that nothing is solid.
Um,
Uh you know what's solid for you, but you don't want to tell us the real truth about it.
I infer, and I think a number of persons also inferred from what was said because there was a Canadian gentleman who got up and spoke. And he said, I'm trying to keep everything within the budget. I'm trying to deal with the wish list within the budget. So it is clear that he has been given a number that he working with. But as you say, when you are asking, it would be Mr. Jeffers in this case, what the number is, Mr. Jeffers does not. He's saying that until the final plan is given, the final drawings, he will not have an idea what the number gonna be.
Yeah. So you basically tell me Navy is still in phase one.
Early phase one, from 2015 until now, phase one.
Yeah. Yeah. So you basically hosted the meeting just to pay the media house.
Man, as Mr. Jeffers was speaking, right, I was there and I was saying, man,
Like if I had known that was would have been said, I would have waited for the premier's conference because he would have put up on the calendar.
no, this was still more, but no, this was still more informative than the Premier's press conference because the Premier's press conference would have said, wait for the consultation. He's been saying, wait
But
for the
what I'm saying
consultation.
is, it belong to the same thing, so we still get the same answer.
Um, you had find it strange last night that the people came and the people presented. And then Mr. Jeffers answer all the question. Not the architect or the person who will do the runway. But our point man, the special advisor. You been find that strange? Or you notice
Because
that?
maybe the rest them talk Spanish.
Well, the Canadian gentleman speak English. Phase one of the drawing is not the project. They don't even have projected numbers, so that's just planning phase. Jetty, with regards to that, I like that. One of the disappointments that I had, I don't think that I expected to see any kind of final drawings, but I feel like more plans should have been shown. Because I think Mr. Jeffers indicated that we had different options as to how we could have go about it. I feel like the better way would have been say, well, this is how it would look if it's option one. These are how it would look if it's option two. Them kind of things because I feel like that's when you got the flexibility and that's when people could understand. We, as you say, we in the planning phase and we're laying you in so that you could have an opportunity to say, well, okay, this is the direction we're going.
Alan, this is my philosophy of the airport. Phase one, extend the runway.
Mm-hmm.
Phase two, you understand me? Get the traffic. Phase three, you understand me? Boost the employment so they could, so you know what I mean. Once there's traffic, you gotta create more employment, of course, which is the security and all that type of stuff. That everything will fall in line according to how the traffic goes, you know. Because guess what? You could be making money while the phase are going, you know?
Well, Alan, you remember when they had their grand plans for the complex? Okay, that went a little too far. Yeah, but that's still planning. Jetty said that's still a planning.
But what I'm saying is, you should have name not Vance International Airport, you know. You should have name phase one.
Mm-hmm. Introduction to phase one.
Yeah, because like anything what me say would just make a little sense a while ago.
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay, because once you know for sure if you're planning, because obviously you're gonna extend the runway. One of the key factors of why the airport is not functional is because of the runway.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to focus on that. Then after you create the traffic afterwards, everything is gonna fall in line, you know? Because guess what? Everything has the same procedure as immigration and all that type of stuff. Unless you're gonna sell it to somebody and you don't know how to tell Abby, yo, they sell it. Well, pull a Netflix. So you got shares.
So hold on and let me try to follow you. So you're
Plane
saying
that
that this
flies
is just
in and out of there to St. Thomas carrying 9 passengers. Not a whole lot of people or persons are interested in flying in that type of aircraft. Some do, but not a large amount.
if you got that one, the next one time thing.
2023, Madam President, we invested quite heavily in airlift into Nevis. This is a critical component of the success of our tourism industry. The KPS service between St. Thomas and the U.S. Virgin Islands and the Vance International Airport has been doing well, and there are considerations for negotiating an additional route with that airline.
So I sat down and I listened for 2 hours last night, and I heard that the Vance International Airport is not fit for service. You can't do nothing. Mr. Jeffers specifically said only 9. He himself make fun of the thing, you know. I say only 9 people. I fly guys St. Thomas Pan KP. People are not interested in flying in that size of a of an airplane. But then the premier to
But
the jury in the budget want to tell me that the same route is doing good and they want to do another one. Which one is
but
real?
but Alex is talking like if 40 people go home on a 9-seater too.
Is more people than that they play on hold, but I don't think that it has be two capacity.
You think he should be to capacity if you know it's a small plane?
Every plane you want it full. Every transportation as full as possible. It's just that if
But
you
you
if you full of people, you would counteract with the amount of luggage rate. I feel like that's the.
when we're going on a big jet, you know for sure we're safe. You feel more safer. But when you're going on an you understand me? And you start to see 16, 17 people, and you're like, my stomach, yeah. Boy, and me, I squeeze up in me one seat, and somebody's supposed to sit down next to me.
Yeah, man, it was a busy night, Lionel. Jason, actually, them man said that them small plane they could glide, whereas if you got a problem in a them big plane, they going straight down to the earth.
Yeah, I know they could glide.
People don't feel safer because they feel like bigger is better, but bigger ain't always better. Ain't necessarily always better. Sometimes a small little thing could get you there, you could cut and got you in a safe
But
manner.
but what happened is, remember, we mindset is like for bigger planes after bigger numbers. You check it out, a small plane I come with 9 when everyone once in a week. After well, somebody says not doing too good and somebody tell you do good.
See, Jetty Taylor said large planes those glide as well. Maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe I'm the wrong one. Or maybe the two are wrong. Let me
No,
t-
you're not wrong. Large planes are large planes. Jet is a jet.
um, I I feel like another disappointing thing was that I get a poster basically and that was the flyer that I was handing out when it was down there. I feel like the government would have done well to disseminate the actual presentation because when you have somebody who is a challenge for them to speak English, it would have been better if we had it so we could have followed so that even though he up there and we can't really hear what he's saying, we could follow what he was saying, and I feel like that was disappointing. But where people said, so
Well,
is there really a
they say somebody
report?
didn't feel that.
I heard, but that is impossible. Jets have planes, just have jet propulsion.
Hear what me I say. Hear what me I say. I guess somebody didn't. The person, the presenter at that time was sick or ill or whatever. So I hope they get well soon. And for the next, and I hope he get well soon for the next presentation he has. You know what I mean? Like I ain't want to wish no bad for nobody. I wanted to get well, so at least they know they come with some sort of clarity for the next time. Um, and which that being said, like if they know, they were already aware of that situation because they know, and like it's 2000 since 2015 you be talking with these people, and like you come and malfunction like that. So since 2015, you answer me. This is all the clarity you have to give me, Mr. Alexis Jeffers, special advisor.
He did ask for some bail. He said that the pandemic had stopped some of the progress. So from 2015 until 2020, they was really making progress, Jason. But it's just the pandemic caused them to stop right now. But in that 5 years there, the man was doing a lot of work. They was talking about a lot of talking. Um, that again, as you're saying, is another disappointment of when you're saying that has been going on for 8 years, and here we are. And the gentleman was saying, "Man, don't even judge my drawings. You know, these are just for a little comment." Them kind of ways there. I feel like you got to give us something where we really could visualize something where, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, even if you have to go and change it further down the line, because I learned certain things last night. I don't even know how you are going about going along with the airport expansion, and you haven't done the environmental assessment yet. Suppose the environmental assessment say this can be bad for the environment. It would seem like that would cut off going along with the expansion.
And who's responsible for aviations right now?
I am not sure the minister in Nevis who is responsible. I think it would fall under the Ministry of Finance though, because I think that's where the allocation came from for the airport expansion, the port expansion.
Okay.
So that would be the premier.
I'm just looking for some sort of benefit of the doubt because it look like a fireman would come there and get better understanding to what going on than these guys.
If they had 8 years, I think that they would have done that. It will be said once it gets to 100 million in the project that the information was lost in translation. I already see the setup. Um, I feel like because of
It was hot.
how because of how the project progressing, as Marlene is saying, it's gonna be important to the money for the how much the airport costs. You're gonna go calculate it in phases. So don't get fooled if you hear phase one is 10 million, 15 million, whatever, because there are gonna be other phases. So we're gonna have to calculate the money. And also this as I think it's being dubbed as the planning and consultation stage. So right now I wanna see how much is this phase going to cost? How much the drawings going to cost? How much the studies going to cost? For example. And then we gonna go add up the money in phases in order to find out. So when the premier come, for example, and says that the project is going to be this million, I got to see what is achieved for that million.
Listen, Alan, Marlin was right. Yes, sir. It's a whole setup because since 2015 and you not got no sort of not even not even a loan in place of whatever how much money or whatever. But all of a sudden now for geothermal you had bid and you don't say you got you basically getting 17 million and all that stuff there. So basically, you know what I mean? You were you were blown away with smoke up your ass for that meeting for 2 hours.
Tanya, the gentleman was asked by Mr. Daly. I did not feel like the question was proper, but it was asked anyway, of his bona fides and or bona fides, because the premier might be listening. So let me talk so you could understand. His bona fides were inquired into, and all kind of airports he say he don't work from Grenada, Jamaica, Toronto, Cuba, all over the place. St. Vincent, all over the place. The issue is not necessarily his qualifications. I think the issue is his ability to communicate to us what it is he's doing. We're supposed to get Spanish translators here now. Really and truly, the presentation was in English. Mr. Jeffers could have given us the presentation,
Boss,
and they really should have given us the explanation.
they could have given Hensley what we call Hensley could talk Spanish.
You see what I mean, Jetty? So I'm just confused as to the fact that the EIA hasn't been done, and then Miss Janice Daniel Hodge also brought up that a feasibility study should have been done. And I think the feasibility study was on two levels, which is one to determine if this would be the best use of the land, and then the other level would be to determine how much money would come in as a result of the investment. And those have not been done yet. We all know everything costs twice, maybe three times as much since the pandemic in material. Labor and technology are so and, and technology, so are we to believe these figures based on something started in 2015? I mean, come on, how daft
Hey,
they really think people are.
hey, Marlene, let me show you what's going on, right? Let me show you what's going on. If you go, okay, you see these supermarkets, these Walmarts and these other big supermarkets to be talk about. You check it out. They don't go to the farm, right? Even if I just buy a pig individually for $50 and it gone up to $60, I got to buy it, because I gonna buy the pig them by individual. You check it out. But guess what? These big supermarkets is gonna come to you and say, "Hey, watch out. Me want 500 of your pig them, but you can't sell me for $60." And the man was like, "Right? When you walk it out, that a 500 pig, but me go give you one for 40." So the thing about it, if you're taking it as it is, you know what I mean, without even bargaining and negotiating, you know what I mean? What is sense you have foreign affairs for?
Remember, foreign affairs not coming in with this one, or Dougie not coming in with this one. I don't feel like Sink is gonna get in on the airport project as well. Geothermal is enough. Well, they might got to send another letter somewhere, another letter of assurance.
Yes, it's called bulk purchases. You understand me? And guess what? They know it. Watch out, deals are out there, you know. So like when they're telling us, oh, material will go up and all that thing, there, material only go up with we because we going buy hospitals go buy two piece of board.
Because other airport needs that lift to the pass. That study is a must. Well, I've seen $750 put into some kind of study about the airport. So there's gonna be $250,000 for somebody. Good point is why I don't understand why the food cost is the way it is, way out of control. We're not producing anything. It really and truly, that was the point I was trying to make with the Panama story too. Really, part of the rise in cost in food is the rise in cost of freight. And that's also why I'm saying that customs might need to reevaluate how we charge duty. Because if you eliminate the freight, then you would cut down on the expenses. I know the government would say they will get less revenue, but people don't have
But
more
that's what
money in their pocket.
governments are for.
People don't got more money in their pocket, and they would be more like they will be more able to buy more, to consume more. So I feel like it might end up being the same thing. They might buy this. They might even buy the same amount of food, but got more discretionary money to deal with other things. Meaning that the case has That a case has in 20 cans and the case $40. How is it each can is $50? Just general reference. Yeah, I don't see it too. Not exactly. I know what you mean by reference, but yeah, I don't see the same kind of thing. I think I'm in a large airport in SK. Mark better off building the damn bridge. Bye. If the Taiwanese gonna do it, I can see it. Yeah.
The Taiwanese, watch out, the Taiwanese then get involved from the airport there. But tomorrow you see that they done because you know the Taiwanese gonna do? Them are gonna dig under. So you could drive go to the beach still. Dig a tunnel with you, who drive back and forth to the beach while it goes up.
Uh, the man on that tunnel
Yeah.
underneath the airport.
Just like over here because which part I'm staying is not far from the airport and where I drive, yeah, some is below the runway.
Man, that might be the road that the fishermen use to access down on the pier going forward.
Exactly. Cause you don't need nothing too special, you know? Alexis just want to cook a little fish water on a cheese stone on it. And he know better too.
Um, well, we were told that the fishermen are not going to be affected by the expansion of the runway. They said that a special road is going to be built to allow them to drive either at the top of the runway or at the end of the runway.
But what I'm saying is, even if they got extended, yeah, some you could also go down. You could dig.
Um, and for you, I would just tell you that the composition of the soil in Canada and the composition of the soil in Nevis might be slightly different. And you also
No,
got to
that
remember, and you also got to remember, I told you I heard the Canadian gentleman, and he was saying, "I'm trying to keep things under budget." He was even saying things. He was saying something outside, like the balcony area. He was saying that there is steel, and one of the ways to save money might be like to just wash it and then put it back in place. He got instructions to save money in certain areas. What you talking about? You want to spend the premium money. That's what you want to do.
me, me just so act like the premier some of the time and say give public works some work to do.
And you want to spend the money and you ain't want to give MSR none. You check? You ain't want stimulate the tourism industry. You want to talk about lab go build a bridge.
For the time MSR media there, you understand me, and only the amount of cruise ships are come. You understand me? Like I don't know. I don't know.
We got
Niche.
nine wonderful films from MSR Media. There's a couple things in there. The next thing I wanna say, right? I want to protect my partner. My partner was saying that he had felt like India was gonna buy Coven. I got to look for the exact place where he says so. Could you give us the name of the company again? Um, Coven, let me forget what I'm gonna say just now and but yeah, Mr. Wilkin, you tell me up, I'm gonna say. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
Let me talk about the budget. We come to the big day. Selected achievements. I'm not gonna give you the long blah blah blah. If you would like to hear everything that the premier said, like I did, you know, it's available on the social media, YouTube. Even though the government doesn't, they always come when it's not favorable for them and said they're concerned. Medical Design Consultants LLC. Mr. Wilkin, unless they created a new domain right now, I was unable to find them. I found Medical Device Design Consultants LLC, and they are in Miramar, Florida. But that's for the premier to come and tell us if something wrong with that. Yes, I was saying, if you want to listen to the whole thing, it's on social media, man. Physical performance. Uh, you know, something what I learned today is when the premier said that the budget is a number, that means that's the amount of money what he planned to spend. I always used to look at the budget, and I was wrong. I was ignorant. I thought the budget is what I'm bringing, but the budget is what I'm going to spend. I think the budget for this year is $282 million. The premier plan to bring in 237.2 million. So he plan to lose by roughly 45 million. Maybe after he getting some loans. Maybe
And what's the
by
negative this year?
this year wasn't a big negative. It was just like 4 million or something. Well, from last year really. I think it was just about 4 million. Ain't no bad. Somehow the public debt remains at 544 million when the premier came in July and said that it was already 549 million. So over the last couple of months, the premier has pulled up the government sacks, and they have somehow taken off $5 million. I'm gonna have to look into that. If this $544 million, if he had said $544 million again, I'm gonna find something fishy about that number. Yeah, exciting stuff. Here's the exciting stuff: the new programs and initiatives that the government coming from in this for next year. There is gonna be a new multi-tax solution system. The revenue management system will streamline and automate all tax administration processes, from tax levying to tax collection. Basically, you're supposed to be able to pay everything digitally right now. Now, that's what they're supposed to. Every year, everything's supposed to be online. They're gonna got some kind of portal. So you should have the ability, and I think that they said they're gonna start this by the first quarter of next year. You should have the ability to pay everything. And trying to compare budgetary allegations for agriculture this year, last year. Do you have those stats on hand by chance? I think the allocation for this year is just under 20 million, yeah, son. But I comment to that.
So, question: during that budget, it show you how much money they spent on wherever they had budgeted for, and how much they went over by. Like for instance, they had a budget cut out for entertainment, which is how much million? What you
1.5 million dollars.
Yeah, they show you how the money was spent for that year.
It does not give you a specific breakdown of how the money was spent. I think that there's supposed to be something to say what was actually spent, but you would not actually see spent on XYZ.
Okay.
They take half the million, by the way. So it's just half a million, you see. I don't know if they work out that the money wasn't being used, if entertainment slacking or whatever. The premier did say entertainment was one of the 7 main things that they putting out there. Just not money wise. They take half a million dollars off of it. Oh yeah, so new initiative is the new tax system. So as I say, everything's supposed to be electronic. Everything's supposed to go put out. One of the new initiatives is also to pay the last 5% of the money. So even though he has been talking about doing it for 3 years now, it's still a new initiative. By next year that now be there. Anyway, expand our programs for greater skill training and adult education. Embark on the drilling of 3 wells to boost our water supply while commissioning a small desalination plant. I was trying to do some research. Apparently, you go install a small desalination plant for $2.7 million for a small one. Without knowing the size, I can't give a quote though. They're gonna start the boiler operation at the Department of Agriculture. They said they are gonna assume ownership of all 30 bus shelters on the island, and those will be used for valuable marketing. So every time you see a bus station, you're gonna get something government on it, because the government is about to own all of them. They're gonna launch a digital marketplace for small business operators. And finally, they are gonna buy all of the land that they need to do the airport. He ain't said that exactly. He said finalize some critical acquisition of lands for important public purposes. But if that not mean we gonna buy all land over finish the rest of the airport, then me not understand. What else? You got a couple things in your heart on. The Premier said that he's pleased to report that we have signed a contract with the engineering and design firm Perez Engineering Limited to provide professional services for the airport expansion, reconstruction, and design, along with construction supervision for the proposed works to be taken at the airport. We have signed a contract. Well, what is in the contract? Oh, Chef, that is a very important point. Because that's when we supposed to know when the jail don't want to come, because one of those calls for purchase land is supposed to be close to me. And me hear the guy waiting for the call. My God. So as I say, come back in at the airport, he said they signed the contract and we don't know any contract. So I hope that we will get a little more elaboration as to what is taking place. What are the figures that are involved? What's the budget? He come go give me the budget and not give me the budget. You know them kind of ways there.
Talk to
Tourism
talk.
is oh yeah, tourism is the 4 P's. Jetty, I feel like what they're gonna do is they're gonna advertise themselves on the bus stops, you know. So when they got action and thing coming up, any event what they got, they gonna just plaster it on the bus shop then. The Malcolm Gishard Park is gonna be finished next year.
Phase one.
No, this is a phase 2, you know. The restaurant and things supposed to be going and them kind of thing there. You know what I mean?
A
Yeah, man,
government
remember
restaurant.
I catch the premiere with the consulting again. And make he look like he forget things where he can go tell her. Several successes. You know? Yeah. Construction and manufacturing. Repositioning the agriculture sector. Preparation.
Excuse me. That's why I
Redefining.
know I don't wait. I eat Skittles.
Um, the film industry get a whole paragraph. A whole paragraph. And out of the paragraph, a whole half of the paragraph is dedicated to what is to come. The first half is to thank MSR Media for the 9 films which were shot over the 2-year period, even though the contract was for more. And they still thanked. I would have been vexed with MSR Media. You ain't supposed to be vexed. I feel like the premier
We studied
mature.
them.
I, I feel like the premier is a man who he woman would walk away from him and he would handle it gracefully. Based off of that day. He gonna be like, thanks for the time, man. You gave me 2 years, 9 films. Sometimes you know walk out. I respect it. He said we have hired a film commissioner. So there is somebody now who is the film commissioner in Nevis, and they are attached to the Nevis Investment Promotion Agency, and they are gonna incentivize film, music, commercials, and photo shoot producers who bring projects to Nevis. I don't understand why content creators are not included. How much money has been generated from Nevis? I think that they said it was generating $3 million was the figure. $3 million every 4 months. If I'm not mistaken, that's the figure that the premier would have attributed, would have been created.
Yeah, but how much is generated for Nevis?
Yeah, Nevis maybe not talk about.
Meaning like we making back that money?
No. All of that done with him. That done happen. While they was here, it was said that I think it's every quarter, which is every 3 months, we was making like I got jail and another man still got it. Jetty is the mature response. You know how long it take me? How long that day? For me, so we have excellent leads and expect to see several film projects on Nevis during the next fiscal year. Several. film projects, and he only gave us one paragraph on this exciting new development. You believe?
Your salt down the boy.
Infrastructure projects. Spent a lot of money on this, that, and the other. Pursuit of renewable energy. Pursuit of renewable energy. He said, I had hoped to be able to report today the completion of the production well drilling phase. This was the phase that was supposed to start in June this year, which was also supposed to start in December of this year. We were supposed to see the boats coming in with the drill rigs. No, none of that. They need to work on monetizing social media platforms for SKN. I learned that SKN can't make money from their videos that they post like everyone else's. Yes, this is a challenge for us. We need somebody to pull a string. Highlight, certainly. I feel like particularly the artists and, as me said, the content creators, I feel like the avenue there should be open for them to get some money. Even though I would still tell you that the streaming money is not where I want to make it. It's
Bro,
hard.
you know everything only lasts 9 days, you know. Everybody jump up and do this when things pan out hype, you know. Like for instance, let me use Byron Messiah for example. You check it out, all of a sudden artists with that fly go Jamaica do all kind of thing and whatever, whatever. And like, look here, you still not see nothing, no results after it, no feedback after it, nothing. You get what I'm saying? So it's like the Rihanna become a national hero, everybody start to talk about national hero and being republic and all kind of stuff. So you know how the premier don't win the election, you know CCM don't win the election. He talk about the hypest thing what go on right now. You understand me? And like, yeah. Then after he win, oh these are the stuff them and we got to come as one, both CCM and NRP. We got to come together and come to some sort of agreement according to the constitution.
All you're saying is that the man is a good storyteller. And it's the same thing I
Mm-hmm.
was telling that just now. If you have to be able to tell a story. The only way how we to communicate is through stories. Huh? No, Marlene, I don't think we can make money off of any content creation.
Hey, you know what gonna be for the next election? Not geothermal. I be a cook, I be own chicken now. I be not gonna wait for no chicken now.
No. He admitted that I think we're trying to get to £50,000 a week, and I think he said we just consume £135,000 a week. So it's not gonna get to the point where we do that. I think in order to reach that amount, there will be 20,000 chickens a week.
Bro,
So I'm not really sure
on the
how are
job
we
there,
gonna reach just
on the job there, you want a big piece of land for the fall, and you want about 20 Spanish, 40 Guyanese, you understand me? And 3 Jamaican on the family.
But as you mentioned that, I take it back what I said because Chef done mentioned they're gonna go look land for the geothermal, and I also think that I saw that they are looking at purchasing land to give the farmers. So maybe they are thinking about this and how they are gonna look some kind of land and give
The,
the farmer. Because
the best
the
place to
chicken.
put a farm there is over by the Jaguars area.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, he done already got the one down there for New River.
You still got it?
I, I thought he was still there. I don't know if he
Listen,
moved.
listen. The reason why I asked, right? The last time I was to a chicken farm is when I was in preschool. Okay.
Oh yeah. I went when I was in primary school. I be walk from Gingerland Primary over to the chicken farm. Think
I
me
was
remember
in
good.
preschool. That was the last. That was the first and last time. You understand me? And I could recall when they use a power hose to spray off the feather and all. They still do it that way.
I didn't see all of them thing there, so me not sure how them do that part then. They didn't on the outside part. You know I see them man kill no chicken but that man not spoil me enjoyment. No? I don't wanna see none of the no, I don't wanna see any of the awful. Um he said the project had experienced delays due to a funding gap. I thought the funding gap, I had heard the premier say previously that the funding gap was like 12 to $15 million. The funding gap today was said to be $20 million. So even when we had the 17 million secure, that not even was half of the money. We needed a further 20 just to have the initial money. He said also a failure of the initial round of bidding. When I look at how this bidding has been going, right, and how we've been told, we didn't do this right the first time, I feel like the bidding was set up to fail. Because ultimately, if you know that when the bidding done and the person get through, and you gonna need 54 million easy to go get them, you can't watch them with no sad story. So the bidding had to fail, as far as I could see. And this is not the most expensive part of doing the geothermal. We still got to get around to the plant, and I think the transportation is the other one, which is like running the cables and them kind of thing.
Yeah.
The next one, the next phase, I think supposed to cost 60 million US, and the wires are wherever you got to run. I think that's supposed to be another 50. So the premier, Mr. Premier, you only will come up with another 110 million. You ain't far. You don't got 40. You do better than me. Me never know.
And you all you gotta do got 10 passport on standby.
He said the project continues to attract considerable favorable global attention. Um, if this is true, we should not have as much problems financing the project as we are having. And here what one more and the premier understand, right? Some not because a lady tell you that you're handsome, mean that she would give you a piece. So
Exactly.
the people on them might be a tell you,
Ma-
but we like the project, but that they so
But
good, you would give me a
they
little
just
money
guy
to
in the
it.
friend zone. They just
Nobody
go
so
guy
good.
guy in the friend zone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is when the woman say, bye. Alan, I just be going through this rough relationship. How come I can't find a man like you? Girl look me right, yo. You look, but she ain't want you for real. She just a tell you bye, you know. I wish you get some kind of happiness in her life at some point too. But not with me there. But happiness is out there looking for you. You're gonna find it. I believe in you. Transforming education, all kind of things that transform and a reposition. I had another thing, because somebody called me to let me know I got to address the premier on their behalf. Oh yeah, fiscal measures. Fiscal measures. Fiscal mean money. We are going to reassess the rates for electricity consumption to lower the burden now on the government for subsidies on electricity. That means the fuel surcharge will be enough. What I came back on in November. But just so you got something. The fuel surcharge is gonna be back. It has been back for at least a month. I tell you, right in time for Christmas. Fuel surcharge. The next sentence here is like one of the stupidest things ever. He said this will be calculated in accordance with the electricity consumed. If Nevlek have a charge in any other manner than for the electricity we be use, we will burn it down. Here I say again, if them gonna charge in any manner except for electricity we be use, ain't gonna Nevlek. So you didn't need to say I run charge based on what you. That's the only way I run charge. You crazy? Watch out. You got people who don't agree with me with things, but if I tell them that, they're gonna say, yeah. That like when the premier they say pellucidly clear. No, if you say pellucid, we don't need to go any further. They say they're gonna revise the fees for the health facilities, especially at the Alexandria Hospital. So as soon as the wing there, as soon as the wing get out the oven, if you want them fry, if you come out the pan, however you do your wing, soon as it done, them man gonna crank up the fees. I don't agree with this. I went up in the hospital and before the man cut me out kind of thing, me say, yo, how much are you gonna charge me? Me pay them the number where they didn't say they want now, then take out extra money. Order me money and I tell you, man, miss. Anyway, me not even gonna get in there about it. You know when we reach up a stage that the man still contact me again to let me to know I owe more money. The man say, I put my clothes inside the little jar they had and sit down on the bed. I count as overnight. I never so vex. Me do nothing. All when the anesthesia, them ask me, you good? I tell them, yo, yeah. Are you ready to go home? I could keep me and tell me, you know, you want to make sure me balance or whatever. I ready to come go home. Me just get anything all the time. Anyway, so the hospital is gonna be more expensive. I would imagine the health centers might be a little increase, small increase. The next thing, supply office. The dog guys. Anything where you want on supply office, but animal feed going up too. There will be adjustment to the price of items driven by the general increase in the cost of buying these items. Dog food going up further than where it be right now. And I you know inconsistent, but the price going up. Recommends a regular disconnection program. I think in the case of water, them man say if you offer more than 3 months, they will be disconnecting. As long as you don't come in for a conversation, they're gonna make it so that you don't run up a bigger bill. Because there's not gonna be any water in your pipe. They're also gonna be doing it for Nevlek. That one is interesting, Jason. They said they will link the renewal of various licenses issued by the Inland Revenue Department to the payment of taxes, especially the payment of property tax. Put simply, as you think about heading to the Inland Revenue Department to renew your driver's license or business license, please ensure that you make payment for all other taxes that are in arrears or make a payment plan. So, them man gonna use the digitization thing that if you owe the government and you feel like, well, you just go renew your license and you're up on your property tax or you're up on something else, them man gonna want to find out the way. Go in and start out that, and then we're gonna get you back on the road. Them kind of ways there. Because you know the license are 3 years. The man look at them property tax every year. So the man gonna say, "No, go ahead, bro, just start out the thing." So what do you think about that then?
If that's the way of modernizing, you know what I mean? They got remember it's the Caribbean, eh? Somebody else gonna beat the system. Somebody got a friend.
Well, somebody
But
asked me, well,
otherwise than that,
somebody asked me,
it's good.
suppose I'm a truck man, and in order to pay the money, I need my license so that I can go up on the road to make the money. Wow, no.
Well, you been on truck man before.
So you're gonna keep trucking?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I feel like, as I said, it's interesting. If you are the government in one aspect, they're gonna know, and they're gonna wanna know what's going on with that thing when you come
What
go
would
renew.
what would be more better in terms of the system if they know a man license expire, they call the person and let them know the license expire.
Hopefully them and go to them thing there, because I find out my license expire. Something just tell me, boy, Alan, my check your vibes. And I realized on the weekend, and then I went and started it out the Monday.
Because some
But
people only don't realize the license expire is when they go to the club and the ID, when you scan your ID, that when they tell you the license expire.
usually others, when will the NIA pay back the people money? Right? Like I say, read me man. But there's a they said they will reinstitute the tax clearance certificate. So the man say anybody who wanna do business with the NIA, you're gonna get this tax clearance certificate to show that you ain't got no taxes due. You ain't got no money due. And that's the way how you're gonna be able to work with the NIA. Now this is when the person call me and say, Alan, this is the word where I need you to let go. Mr. Premier, it has been asked by members of the entertainment industry who were instrumental in Culture Armor 49 and who also will have a role to play in Culture Armor 50 and any kind of Culture Armor YB you got going forward. As a matter of fact, there are a number of events that you're going to do. You're going to need these people. And I was told to ask when they are going to be paid for the services that was rendered during the Culture Armor period.
Where you want to say you
Somebody
got
said,
people that get paid?
lad man, Mr. Premier, even pay one of the small building. You still don't got a balance, but you know what I mean. Some of the service providers in the entertainment industry are concerned that the NIA is calling on them to pay money, and they are wondering, well, suppose the money what they got to pay is money that is owed by the NIA. Will the NIA be giving them something? What was the language? Let me use back a lot. Will the NIA be issuing a certificate to these persons to say that they are owed X amount of money so that the inland revenue don't watch them in a kind of sideways fashion. Like I said, they don't have money. So it is a question, as I say, they want to find out. Hopefully, this could be addressed. They have noted also that the Queen Show contestants have been paid. The Calypsonians have been paid. So they note other people who have been paid. So, Mr. Premier, you might want to get on that. As I tell you, you got events to keep. And them people are going to be necessary. And whatever event you got, you're going to add on the bill too. So, deal with it, man. Don't call on the public and have these people out there who call upon you too. As I can tell you, you won't can't call upon them harder than they call upon you, eh? Do you have license to fish in Nevis? I don't think that you require a license to fish in Nevis.
I think you just licensing your boat.
Mm-hmm. Your license and register, and you have certain responsibilities. They say they're going to reassess the water rates to bring the price of water more in line with the cost of producing such water. Abbey water is already twice as expensive as Sinkits water. Now, to be fair, the way how Sinkits people attack, them never got water, so maybe the reason why Abbey got water because it's so expensive water. But if we're gonna raise the cost of water again, we're gonna be heading for triple. After double is only triple, you go ahead do after that.
Well, if water gone up, you know what I mean, head by the sea.
Well, and we're going to be able to salt water.
Head by the sea and walk with the Queen.
They say about the hot bath is being renovated, and when I was walking there in the morning, I did see they look like they might introduce some stars and so. Yeah, must look like you're gonna be able to be down there and all them kind of thing. They're gonna change your clothes. So they're doing some renovations there. They say business is going to a similar kind of thing. So if you can go renew, you got your certificate of good standing and make sure that all of your taxes have been paid. And they're going to be people asked this year, if you have not been paying your property tax, if your property is not registered, they are going to be on your ass. They ain't boasting off and saying how much construction going on and how much this, that. They are not seeing the number. Me not think the recreational officials registered. Me know people maybe does go and do them little fishing, but that ain't not registered. Yeah, so they're gonna be paying people ask for taxes this year. Oh yeah. But Jason, me didn't hear this, me couldn't believe. Did you know that if you had a business license, just by having a business license, you could have get duty free concession by a vehicle?
Yeah.
Me talk about ain't had to got nothing to do with the business or nothing. You been about that? How come everybody not been about that there? Me mother say. That they seem like something that they seem like something that they built to be abused.
That was there all the time for any business.
So but you see the problem that I'm having. Somebody recently tried to bring in an Audi and say that that's for the farm. You understand the problem I have?
Yeah.
The business is supposed to be so successful that you go buy what chance you want to buy. If you want a concession to bring in a vehicle for the business, I could see it. But if you're looking at concession for your personal thing, then you just that the setup
Um.
to be abused.
No.
So
Because guess what? Because
explain to
guess
me,
what?
Jason.
Because guess what? Remember, he could use that vehicle who be collecting he could be using the vehicle there to drop off he bill them man, so you know.
So you are suggesting to me that you require a vehicle to drop off bills?
Yeah, if the man want a vehicle drop off he bills, that's part of his business. Like for instance, Nevlek got work trucks and also got other cars, other corporate vehicles to do whatever.
I don't think that it is appropriate that we compare a private business can never let down a building concession. So what I would like you to do, find a private business where we are gonna apply this same logic.
Alan, Alan, abuse is abuse, you know, but if the man could say what he want and I saw you, you know, because you can't determine if the man not do it or not.
Wouldn't I be able to determine it by observation?
But you got other bigger business, you got other bigger private entity, you understand me, doing the same thing too, and them abuse it the same way.
But my initial question, no, not even question, my initial observation is that if it is structured in this manner, it is built to be abused. You have not provided me with anything to say that it is not built to be abused. You know? You shake your head no, and all of your examples are that it is abused. So I don't
Yeah, it
understand.
is abuse. No, no, don't
So
get me
we
wrong.
did not come in.
But the reason why I said no, meaning like, why not give him? Because everybody, if you're gonna penalize him, you gotta penalize everybody else.
So no, but this is my question. If we are looking for a change, should, doesn't the change start somewhere with one step in a particular direction? Or do we say, man, I've been walking so long in this direction, there's nothing I could do to go in another direction?
I feel like,
Doesn't
I feel like,
that
I feel like we look at the brand of the vehicle and consider it what it is.
Jason,
Because if
Jason,
he
hold
were to
on,
bring in a pickup,
hold on,
if he were to
hold
bring
on,
up, if he were to bring a pickup the same way,
hold on, hold on. The individual we are speaking of owns a farm. The Audi we are speaking of is a sports car. The farm is not located. You're gonna have to do some off road, and you know this is Nevis. The person attempted to say, because you bring it. I was letting you build and say about like carry letter. The person said for the transport of goods. How likely is it I'm gonna buy an Audi A4, A6 type of vehicle, a sports vehicle for transport of my goods for the farm?
maybe you want a bag of potato, you know what I mean, in style. I just
See?
fucking around, Alan. Come on.
Okay. So have the serious conversation, no?
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You check it out, but I just was saying like, yo, you got people that use different vehicles for different things. You check it out. So maybe he feel like he wanna add it for it too. What? He should say it's for marketing.
Well. Yeah, so that man said that
But
they're finishing with that thing there.
but he can't
If you
finish with
want,
it because everybody
no.
if they
Hear me
finish with
out.
it,
Okay, right.
they cannot finish with it because everybody use it to their advantage. That's something you can't get rid of. Everybody, I mean like globally.
Um, do you know the justification that they use? Me not say that. Do you know that it exists in Canada? Do you understand why it exists?
Of course.
Speak to me. Enlighten the public.
But it's called creating an economy, bro. At the bottom line, Because guess what? You're gonna buy 10 vehicles, you understand me, which is unnecessary to you. But guess what? You're gonna pay back the tax for all of them, insurance, everything. So them man giving you a slap on the wrist for whatever, you understand me, is nothing for them.
You're incorrect. But we're gonna
Because
move
guess
on.
what? When you go register your vehicle, who you got to go to? You understand me? When you go do all these things, it goes back to the government the same way. So you could got 20 vehicles and all, but at the end of the day, got to be registered by the government. And you gotta pay for it.
But none of those is the reason why the policy exists. You can't. I feel like you're kind of reaching at stuff. Okay, let me put it to you this way. Why do you think the policy exists in Nevis? Concession
Um,
for business owners.
I feel like he exists as it come into the as it start to get more modern. I can't tell you exactly when, but when we applied for our business license for the restaurant and the entertainment, you understand me? You like they will tell you what you could get, you know what I mean, in terms of what you're dealing with.
Um, yeah, son. My query is not with regards to the type of vehicle you would want to take your own, even for business purposes. But it's a matter of allocation of equipment and allocation of resources. I, if I you don't see if I you don't see that this is a system set up so that some people could style off, all right, I wouldn't fight it.
Bro, Bro, listen, that's something, you know, something that got to remain, that have to remain in place. You check it out, that's something you can't get
You
rid
didn't
of.
let me finish, because I was gonna explain to you how they was gonna think, but you're still in attack mode. You want me to finish?
All right,
He
sorry.
said the deciding test will be whether the absence of the vehicle, whether in the absence of the vehicle, the business core functions will cease to exist. That means if you're critical to the business, basically.
That's straight up abuse. It's like buying two seater
No,
Porsche doesn't work.
Jetty, we are gonna be defeated by feelings, because what if the person feel like they want to drive to work in a Porsche? farming directly on the farm. What happens when I take my value added products to the Marriott for shows? I should pull up in an old truck. I should also be able to pull up in my Lexus like other vendors. Okay, yeah, son. Pull up in your Lexus. Yo, alright. Feel like
How long you can run from it?
um I'm not running from it. Though.
No,
I,
not
I,
you. As in like, I mean, as in the system itself.
no, no. Well, me say what me say. Because me anyway. I talking about if the vehicle is directly contributing to the business. Are
Of course.
you one of the things where you literally said is bye Alan, maybe I want to carry me potato them in an Audi and Jason, if that's where if we gonna just if the thing gonna as anytime we reach to the thing and you start to tell me, well, Alan, by suppose me feel like me good on a Jason, I will be defeated by feelings. Me know me
No, you
limitation. No, me know me
no.
limit.
It's
I
just the
know my
reality.
limitations for sure. Feelings is reality. Feelings is reality.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying like this is the
Oh,
reality of the situation.
the reality is that people should be allowed to go based off of how they feel. It should not necessarily got to
No,
do with you.
the,
Okay,
the reality is people is gonna continue to do it and say it's for the business. That's the reality, and you can't deny that.
you know what one of the thing is too. I was recently speaking to a friend who utilized the program in the same manner in the past. Brought in a vehicle, and he was like, well, this is a manager thing. I need to have this for that. After years of going through this, you know, wisdom tell them, I waste my money and my time. And you know what they end up went back and do? They buy a vehicle that actually add to the business and the utility. However, if I feel like may disrespect the thing, it should be more about, well, no worry about what's the best use. Not because we are pick up people who sick. We don't necessarily need an ambulance. We might want to pick up people in a Benz. So if we feel like that's the better thing, me not fight that. Alright, let me do the thing I have for feelings. But the premier say nothing he administration. I don't know supporting bandit. Yes, I'm gonna have to.
So wow. So he could take advantage of it for his purposes.
What's his business? What business did he bring in? The duty free
No,
and this is how come me try to tell you duty free concession for government different than for business. We gonna got to find businesses and say, well, who who in whatever business you want to attach to here, bring in a vehicle for the business and ain't had nothing to the business. And I'm gonna support you. But you can't find out.
me and my feelings.
Oh, so right.
I said, Debbie, where's the now?
Mm, by couple highlights from this is just the proposed capital projects. I only see $1 million budgeted to go into the geothermal. Everywhere else gonna put in them other money. I can't even put in $1 million US. Though we gonna put in $1 million easy in the project.
Hmm.
There's gonna
Yes, JT.
for the non-established workers. And the premier said that all of y'all who are 62 are going home and will not be replaced unless y'all were critical to the work, just like at the thing. So I feel like I'm missing my. You feel like I don't know that they got rich farmers who just roll out in the thing, but what I trying to tell her is the Rastaman got this thing in a kind of way. These same rich farmers, when they move in with the produce, and when they move in, two different story. The potato them ain't in the Benz. They are in a vehicle what whole potato. He could be
Yeah.
in the Benz. But hold
But
on. You know what make he in the Benz? He don't sell enough potato to afford a Benz. He
the vehicle
ain't buy
attached
the
to the
he
business.
ain't, he ain't buy the Benz first. He ain't buy the Benz first who transport the potato them. Man. He buy the transport who transport the potato them. And then he's selling off potato. And he say, yo, I want flex in a Benz now. What are you trying to tell me is buy the Benz first. Because you want travel you want your potato traveling style. And that's all what me say. That's my argument. The people ain't wrong with this. He ain't wrong with this shit, man. They got $80,000 there for the non-established workers. I don't know if the 80,000 I don't know if the 80,000 gonna include the 5% bump that is coming in January. Development of media services. No, that they're not major. Yeah, tell I the advancement of the entertainment industry lose $1 million. I just down to 500,000. Mr. Brown get some money this year. Attack and attack and attack about how Mr. Brown ain't getting money. Mr. Brown get a little money this year. Yeah, Mr. Brown has joined. Mr. Brown has joined the other ministers in getting some money. Eric is the only one who holding the shitty end of the stick right now. But Eric see through. And Eric humble. Eric is a good Hebrew guy. Eric now get too high. All I got to say is come apply for fishing race and get that. Oh, duty free boat by upgrade. No. Culture I'm getting $2 million this year. Just in case anybody want to know. Culture Arm 50 is getting $300 million. Yeah, let's say 300.
What?
No, 3 million, 3 million, 3 million.
Oh? 300 million? I coming home.
Mm-hmm. Water drilling I will get 2 million. Road projects I will get 3 million. There is gonna be the construction of a judicial complex, which is gonna cost 750,000. You got several feasibility studies He got more than $1 million worth of feasibility studies. He got feasibility study on the port as well. They should hire Janice for one of the feasibility studies, you know? Upgrade agricultural facilities 1.2 million. Eric got a little money for capital investment too. Boiler project 1 million. Upgrade the complex 1 million. NEPAC is getting renovation this year after the premier took the Concerned Citizens Movement convention down there and everybody tell them how hot it be. He and all. You know, we believe when I be tell them that then graduation people down there dead in a heat. The AC down there kill them. So I would hope that this is enough to fix the AC and also all the lights. So $1.5 million to NEPA. The hospital is gonna get $3 million. So the premier is only gonna take $3 million to finish the rest of the hospital. I will believe it when I see it. But he said, I see the trick now. I see the trick. He really said he gonna take $9 million, but he gonna look for a loan for 6 million. So the rest of the hospital, what we beg by, I nearly beg the premier. Mr. Premier, just tell Abby that the premier gonna be over budget. But he been feel like I be a chicken man, he not been want to say Panabi platform that they gonna be over budget. Even though like me only been tell us so because I could read them. But there's gonna be an extra 9 million. Yeah, I find the trick. We say that everybody gets small money. Or upgrade and maintenance of sporting facilities. $1.7 million. I want to see how much of that going on in the E2 with it. Construction of athletic stadium, $100,000. That should be the truth. That should be the truth and just be zero.
That for the gate alone?
But they should just put zero for that. That enough.
That for the gate alone.
But they can put CCTV in the schools. Then it look like CCTV going in the high schools and the primary schools. So them man soon up there watching people. And nature tell I, you know, in my days, and not for me, I get you. But I gonna see some things from them cameras there. I hope I report them. Boy, look how I be reach a fan. I've been a team talk about Timo. You and I be enough with Timo?
Yeah, there anything with him.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a gentleman arrested last week for, I think he was charged with manslaughter. He was Mr. Warner. He was detained in the United States and he was fighting his extradition back to Singets and Nevis. And as part of his case, as part of his argument, he was saying that hold on, let me read this here because I never seen nothing so amazing. Mr. Warner alleged that he was sexually harassed by the then Prime Minister Timothy Harris. He asserts that after he reported this and other improper conduct, Warner and his then girlfriend were attacked by an unarmed man acting on behalf of Harris, though neither suffered any injuries, and that the same man later threatened Warner. Okay? The record also does not compel the conclusion that Warner's complaints about the then Prime Minister reflect a political opinion. And the last one is Warner filed a sexual harassment complaint against the then Prime Minister Harris and reported Harris' possible corruption to his supervisor to effect his transfer to an assignment away from Paris. These personal complaints do not demonstrate that he acted out of political opposition to the general government corruption. Well. So hear me question. What we gonna end off with? We're gonna need Timothy Harris to clear up these, man. Mr. Harris, them man in the court of abuse, them man talking the wildest. The wildest about it.
You think it easy you get butt suck and not get the money?
And let me tell you something. Man, you know how long I want to talk about this, but I just needed an angle, man. Reports have been made. I am sure that the premier gonna say he don't know nothing about this. He was out in the yard. So he don't know nothing about this.
No man. What? He don't look like Timo type. No man, the man used to look sharper than that. That when the man that how the man that the man detained look. If you see how the man used to look as a police.
That when you're not get to sharp up accordingly.
Yeah
How
man.
come
If you
so
had see the man when you see the man used to stay sharp. When I see the man, I couldn't recognize him. It's an old picture I had to look at.
Yeah, so Mr. Harris, man, and me and him not getting into the proclivity because you know this is not about who you trouble, but sexual predators, man. We gonna need to know if we had sexual predators in the cabinet and the premier didn't know about it. God, he never been done nothing. So Timo, come out and deal with this, man. We're gonna need some clarity. And as me said, for whoever is dealing with any kind of smoke, me, I'm only reading from the case, people.
Alan, you think it
Mm-hmm.
easy you get butt suck and not get the money?
Me don't get my sucker free. I guess what I have to contemplate right now is whether or not those individuals are upset with me to this day.
Anyways, have a good
Yeah.
night everyone. Manners
Yes.
and
Good night.
respect. I love you guys. Yeah. Bless up.
Go do our research.
Stop the guy about suck daddy.